Yeah, I guess we want to play that one instead of the ring, huh? Whew, that is a Nev Disk, baby. Disk does not kill our own One Rings. By the way, if we haste and it gets terminated and then we lose the Blood Moon, we're probably going to lose anyways. Think of not playing around it. Let's just trust their F6 is a real F6 and not them playing us. So today, we're going to be playing some Amulettitan, of course, but the thing that we're doing that's interesting is we're playing a copy of a card that I've never seen anybody play in the Amulet sideboard, but I think has potential. And that card is Nev Disk. I don't know how you pronounce that, but Nev Disk is typically how I pronounce it. It's a 4-mana artifact, enters the battlefield tapped, which of course is not a problem with Amulet. And then for 1 mana, you can tap it and destroy all artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. And so you may look at this and think, wow, that is a kind of a similar card to the card Oblivion Stone, which I've seen Mistaken playing to some success. And they are similar. Oblivion Stone does not hit. Oblivion Stone hits planeswalkers, whereas Nev Disk does not hit planeswalkers. However, on the upside of Nev Disk is that it costs a total of 5 mana to both play and activate, whereas Oblivion Stone, however, costs, I believe, 8 mana in total in order to both play and activate. And in the fair matchups, especially the Blood Moon matchups, those are the typical matchups where you want a OStone or Disk effect, and getting up to 8 mana can be quite difficult. So, though it is true that killing the planeswalkers against the 4-color control decks can be important, I think that the fact that Disk costs less mana to both play and activate might become relevant. So that's the reason I've chosen to play Disk over OStone. And if we happen to have an Amulet out, we could play Disk and activate it in the same turn if we just have 5 mana and basically just have a 5 mana Wrath, which is not something that opponents are used to playing around or seeing in Amulet. And so that's kind of the idea of today's list. However, we do have a couple of copies of Explosives, mainly because there are matchups where having the earlier interaction, for example, playing against Prowess or like humans or like a Death and Taxes style deck, being able to play your hate early is important. It's also worth noting that Engineered Explosives is a little better against Force of Vigor because Force of Negation against the Rhinos decks, because if they force a negation, your Nev Disk, you just lost a 4 mana investment, whereas they have to force your 0 mana explosives against the Rhinos. Either way, I'm probably going to be bringing in both of these cards in the Rhinos matchup regardless, but do want a couple of explosives just to play around the more early aggressive decks rather than like a 4th Disk or something like that. But we are playing 3 Disks, and it's mainly for the Scam matchup, but it also can help against Murktide, it can help against the Rhinos matchup, it can help against 4-color, and that's kind of where I'm at with testing today. And we're playing 2 Castle Garenbrig as opposed to 2 Mycosynth Gardens. Not a change that I'm necessarily super sold on, but I feel like Castle Garenbrig speeds up our hands, especially with mulligans. Like, you can have a Castle Garenbrig and then it just makes for a turn 3 Titan when any other land, including Mycosynth Gardens, wouldn't do that. It's also a little bit better against hate, in my opinion, and it's an untapped green source on turn 3 if you already have a forest in play, which can be important. So, I don't know, we just got some interesting stuff going on here, especially the Nev Disk tech, and that's what we are going with. Let's just jump straight into match 1 here. Alright, so we are on the play against Vern. Of course we'll be on the play here. Close all this off. I know how Magic Online works. What do you take me for? And, gotta get this chat open, although I don't think you guys can see it, but in case something interesting happens, it's good to know what is going on there. And this is an example of a hand where Castle Garenbrig comes in clutch, as Garenbrig is potentially enabling a Titan with just any land off the top, whereas Mycosynth Gardens would just be useless in this hand. So this is an example of a hand where Garenbrig comes into play. We are just playing a turn 3 ring, which is not the super fastest thing, but I mean, I'm not turning down turn 1 Grazer into turn 3 ring and potentially turn 4 Titan. And if we draw something that speeds up our hand a little bit, then we'll be getting to turn 3 Titan, so definitely going to be playing Grazer here. There's a possibility that we just sandbag the Garenbrig until the last possible second, so they are not expecting our Titan to come down. Playing against the mirror, huh? Doesn't happen that super commonly these days, but it's always an interesting thing to occur. And we found an Amulet, which is fantastic. So now we want to play Amulet Garenbrig, and that way, if we top deck a green bounce land, we can just slam Titan this upcoming turn. Interestingly, I don't think that... I guess Mycosynth Gardens would still allow us to have the turn 3 Titan off of a bounce land, but both cases it has to be a green bounce land, so Azusa. Do they have a ring themselves? Are we getting ringed here? We have a full 3 main deck Besagers, by the way. No 4th one in the sideboard, sadly. I wonder if Nev Disk is good in this matchup. Definitely not one that I was preparing for when I put Nev Disk in the sideboard. So looks like they maybe do have a ring. Not super surprising. They have Sunhome, I believe, is the land they picked up. Well, you have a ring, but guess what? I also have a ring. Although honestly, I'd rather just slam Titan and get Boseiju out of the way here, I think. Probably Boseiju Amulet is the best play. Since they can play bounce land and we Boseiju it, they just pick up the other bounce land and go bounce land, and can still potentially get to Titan if they have like a Arboreal Grazer, or a second Amulet. Second Amulet we're probably losing to anyways, but okay. Well, we have Titan next turn, but there is no guarantee that we'll be able to actually get Titan into play next turn, depending on what our opponent has and does here. We'll go ahead and do this, and swing it back to our opponent. Ugh. I mean, it's a bounce land, so I guess we'll take it, but ugh. It's not a great draw. It's not even a good draw. Our opponent draws. Hopefully, they have the Boros Garrison, Sunhome, and Slayers all in hand. Ooh, Mycosynth is nasty here. We're probably dead. Although, I mean, I guess we're not dead, because we technically can't lose because of the ring, but that doesn't mean that we can win. Like, if our opponent just does Titan things here and then destroys our Amulet, even though we can't, like, lose, we also can't win. So that would be good enough to end the game. I guess we'd have to be able to draw, like, double Amulet or something off of our ring. Or even a single Amulet might do something. Like, if they Boseiju our Amulet and we top deck an Amulet, then we can use Garen Brig and the Garrison that we drew in order to set up a Boseiju and Boseiju something of theirs, but then they still have a Titan in play, so we probably just lose. It's curious to me that they played the Mycosynth and then used a land drop in order to activate Mycosynth instead of just using the Simic and then playing bounce land after. It would have been netting them more mana, but probably just dead here. I guess maybe they have Colossus, like they're going for Colossus here, and they won't have to have the extra land in hand. Nope, they just have Titan. Yeah. Well, we'll see what they choose to do here, but we are dead. I guess for our sideboard, we just basically have Dismember and nothing else that we actually want to bring in. Basic Force is not the worst, weirdly enough. Basically just bring in Dismember. Kind of high and dry for this matchup. It's okay, we'll just be lucky. We'll just have better hands in them in both Game 2 and Game 3. Yeah. I don't really feel like playing this amount because I don't think that anything we do here actually matters, so we'll just scoop it up. Not a big deal. Guess we'll play these Dismembers, assuming that we have stuff we want to cut. I think we do. We definitely don't want the One Ring because it's obviously slow. We can play Forest over Bog. I'm kind of tempted to try Disk here, but I don't think it's particularly good. I think we just run it this way. 4 Dismembers is kind of a lot. We can maybe play 3 Dismembers and 1 Cavern extra. I don't mind that. We'll be on the play here. Man, we keep drawing these weird no bounce land hands, but we have Dryad and Titan, and we have some interaction. If we top deck a bounce land, we'll be good, but we're a little over 40% to even draw a bounce land in the first 3 draws here. Especially on the play, it makes it even less likely, so, I mean, do we just keep it and hope to draw a bounce land? Like, I feel like we have to, but when we miss the bounce land 6 out of 10 games, it's not looking great for us. I guess we want to play Amulet here so we can turn to a Dryad if we top deck bounce land immediately. It's extremely unlikely, but we'll try it. Used to have to play around Force a lot in this matchup, and technically it's still possible, but most Amulet lists don't even play Force anymore, so. However, we could easily get hit by a Terra Thunder. That's a common one to see. Yep. No bounce land, sad. I guess, I don't think we play the Grazer here since we're going to be able to Dryad this upcoming turn regardless. I guess not if they Terra Thunder our Amulet. We'll play around Terra Thunder by using Grazer now. If they have second Amulet into bounce land into creature, I mean, we can Dismember, I suppose. Remember what I said about having a better hand than our opponent? So far, it's not quite looking that way. Vestige is a cool one. Let's see what their choice of 3-drop is here. Azusa. Well, depending on how they sequence things, we can Dismember this. No valid Dismember targets, huh? Well, now we might as well just yield the insta. Probably do have to Dismember this regardless. Yeah, I guess we're just going to Dismember this. It doesn't feel great. This prevents them from having the ability to transmute TOS during the next turn, even off second Amulet, potentially, in case they don't have a Titan. Man, alright, well, here's a Dryad and a pass, and now we just have to hope and pray we top deck bounce land. Like I said, 6 out of 10 games, we don't find the bounce land, and this is one of those majority games, so that's the risk you run when keeping this type of hand. See if our opponent has the Titan. If they don't have Titan, oh, they make a construct. That's great news for us. That is fantastic news. I guess we did good by killing this Azusa then. Yeah, we could top deck bounce land and Titan them and steal this game pretty easily. Alright, bounce land off the top. One time. That does not count. I mean, we can transmute it for a bounce land, but then we can't do anything this turn with it because we have 4, 5 mana. We're 1 short, so we just have to hope and pray. But we are going to go ahead and transmute TOS for a bounce land here. Yeah, let's just get Summoner's Pact. Alright, Simic Growth Chamber, of course. Pass it back. We could, like, Boseiju them, but I'm just not about that, so. Alright, we'll just hope that they don't top deck whatever they're missing. I think they showed us, no, they didn't show us a bounce land. Maybe they don't have a bounce land here. If they didn't have a bounce land, they could have just gotten map instead of second Amulet, so it's probably more that they don't have the threat, and we just need to hope that they continue to not top deck a threat. Azusa. Okay, interesting. Well, we actually get to win here, which is pretty unlikely, but it is the case, assuming they don't dismember our Dryad. Now, even if they do that, we can still slam Titan. Oh, okay. Hey, Garenbrig off the top lets us still get there. Any land lets us get Dryad triggers to kill these two. Hey, I'll take that draw. We will take that one. That is what we call a good draw. All right, I think we win here. Guess it worked out. And we'll float a white with the Besage and pick it up here. See, that's 7, yeah. So we want to leave the white floating so we can haste off of Valakut Slayers, or Vesuva copy Valakut Slayers. And our opponent is hyper super dead. Vesuva copy Valakut and Slayers. And then when we attack, we can set up Beseiju here, send all these upstairs, because, yeah. That's what I thought. Okay. I didn't expect to win that one, to be honest, but we did get there. Still not really feeling Nevinral's Disk. Maybe we would just rather have the extra land over the Dismember. Kind of doubt it, though. We'll just run it. On the draw is not the best look, especially since we don't have a easy catch-up mechanic like Force of Vigor. We just have to hope our opponent mulligans a couple times, and then we have like a on-point Dismember, or we have like a faster draw than them somehow, even though they're on the play. I mean, we get to go turn 1 Saga, turn 2 Beseiju something. I mean, then we have 4 mana on turn 3. We get 2 draws. We could draw exactly like an Amulet or 2+1 ramp spells or something like that. And I feel like we have to keep this. It's not fantastic, but we have a interactive effect here. Can't really mulligan those. Of course, if our opponent just has the turn 1 or the turn 2 Terra Sunder for our Saga, we lose on the spot, which you love to see. Grazer. All right, well, I mean, Titan lets us pack for one of our +1 ramp spells, so that's part of the equation. We'll play the Saga and swing it back to them. All right, opponent, show us what you got. It'll be interesting. Dang it, they have the Terra Thunder. Well, I guess we lose. I suppose we lose the game then. I mean, they have 2 cards. They'd have to have Bounce Land plus Titan, plus they have a card coming from the top of their deck as well. Okay, we'll just very calmly play our Valakut and pass the turn as if nothing happened. We're fine. We're totally fine. I'm sure our opponent can't kill us here. I'm certain. There's no way. Oh, see, they're making a Saga token. See, I told you. We're golden. All right, let's top deck an Amulet of our own, please. Amulet off the top, please, and thank you. Hey, okay. So now we have to think about if we even want to play this. Because we can hold up Beseiju for their Bounce Land, and then next turn play Amulet into Bounce Land into Dryad, and still be able to hold up Beseiju after playing Bounce Land after, and not expose our Amulet to another Terra Sunder. So I think we're just going to play Forest and pass. Dude, if we win this game when they turn 2 Terra Thunder to our turn 1 land, that will be majestic. Majestic is definitely the term. Azusa, you got it. Yeah, we don't really care about that. The last card is probably Titan, and so we need to be able to Beseiju their Bounce Land, but I don't feel too bad about this, to be honest. I think that we're outracing the Saga popping for a map, assuming they even have a map. They didn't get map in game 1. Okay, so now we go Amulet, we go Simic, we can leave some Bounce Land and lands in play here for max value. Pick up, I guess, Forest. So I guess the best way to do this is to play Sanctuary and pick up Valakut, and then even if they have a Terra Sunder or something for our Amulet, then our Dryad still lets us get to Titan, and this lets us hold up Beseiju, instead of just picking up the other Bounce Land. Usually, you'd want to have a Bounce Land in hand, but this is not really one of those spots. So it'd be a very interesting game to win. I honestly thought that we were just dead after that Terra Sunder, but see, if they Bounce Land here and we hit the Bounce Land with Beseiju, they can float with Valakut, pick up Valakut, and play it, but then there will be a green short. They'd have 5, 6, 7, no. They actually can still Titan through our Beseiju here. When it says unbelievable. Unbelievable. Wait. There we go. No Titan. Well, we're not going to block this because they can just make a token, so that is fine. And now do we just hit the Saga and then use our opponent's just dead here, I think. We go land, Titan, attack, get things. Actually, do we even want to give them a second? Do we want to give them a green mana to be able to Beseiju us? I don't think so. Honestly, we'll just untap here. Dismember, huh? Playing Forest into Valakut to play around them having removal for our Amulet or something like that. Here's a Titan. Okay, I guess they could have Dismember. They could certainly have Dismember. Let's kill Azusa and them. All right, we'll just always yield these bad boys. And it looks like they don't have Dismember, so I think we are just golden here. Haste that one, get up Slayers, and swing. Yeah, I mean, they would have used Dismember if they had it, so I'm not playing around it. We'll go always yes. Wow, I can't believe we actually won this match. That's wild. Well, we take those. We definitely take those. And we'll hop in here for the next one. That went exceedingly well. I dare say that we got lucky, or I guess in our case, it was more that our opponent got unlucky. They didn't have everything that they need. All right, so get started here against Kvester. We have turn 1 Saga Amulet. I will not mulligan. You will not catch me mulliganing. Keep that. We'll take that. It's, pretty decent. Honestly, there's a chance we go Forest Amulet into turn 2 Saga, depending on what our opponent does, because if we miss on our threat, then being able to make Saga tokens and extend the game could be very important. So we'll see. I mean, we have the One Ring to bridge the time that we don't. No freaking way. We are not playing a second Amulet mirror. You have got to be kidding me. No way. I refuse to believe this. Okay, well, I mean, Saga Amulet is a good start in the mirror. Hey, we found Telarios, which could be our second Titan. Definitely the mirror. That is so crazy. Chalice? Oh wait, is this like Tron or something? Who plays Chalice? Well, I guess Telarios is no longer our Titan. Interesting. Alright, well, we're gonna play Garenbrig here. That way, if we top deck a Titan, we can literally just cast it next turn. I mean, any other land would have done that, but you know, guess they're on like Tron or something? Saga into Forest and search for Urza's Mine. Okay, color me intrigued. We're gonna play One Ring and get one draw out of it, and then our opponent's gonna slam the heck out of Karn the Great Creator, and then our ring will just be very sad. Inscribed Tablet. This looks like a Aspiring Spike Tron list. The Stone Brain main board though. What is happening? Did we get stream sniped or something? Our opponent knew that this was what was gonna happen. I don't think we really have a way to beat Stone Brain in game 1. I don't know if that gets around Ring either. I guess we'll have to find out. And we're definitely getting Amulet here. And I guess we'll Vesuva. We can Vesuva there. Saga. Could just Vesuva Garenbrig. We can always eventually transmute for Valakut if we need to rely on a Dryad game plan. Guess I'm going to go for Vesuvaing their Saga. Very important to put the Amulet triggers on the stack before the Saga. So the first thing that happens is our Saga gains the ability to make mana. Extremely important. And now we can actually make our mana. Here's a ring. And then we'll... Let's see, how does this work? Target opponent. Yeah, so they can't do anything to us with the Stone Brain, so we just need to top deck a Titan, and we'll be good. Well, Inscribed Tablet, Basic Forest, the main board, the Stone Brain. What does this mean? Is this like some sort of Prison Tron? Maybe it's like Eldrazi Tron with just a random Stone Brain main? I don't understand. Inscribed Tablet's a little weird, too. Like, that's usually an Eldrazi Tron card. But Eldrazi Tron usually doesn't play Basic Forest, I don't think. I don't know. It was very funny when our opponent goes turn 1 Saga map. I was like, sure that they were also playing Amulet, but I guess not. Oh, they could have Pithing Needle for the One Ring here, I guess. Nope, they just get Expedition map, okay? And Karn. Yeah, I kind of called this one. All right, we need Titan right off the top immediately now. Get coding. What a weird game, dude. What a strange little game. Titan, come on. Ugh, that is not a Titan. Interesting. Well, we can make a dude here and play a map that we can't use, which I guess is the play. Maybe we just pick up our Vesuva then, because popping this off for anything else doesn't really do anything. We could also transmute for a Beseiju right now. We could Beseiju their Stone Brain, but they might just have another one to get out of the Karn board. They might not have the land, though. They have 2 cards. I guess we're supposed to transmute and Beseiju this. Can we do that and still make a token? 3, 4, 5. No, I don't think so. If we don't make a token, we can't pressure Karn here. The coding's going to ruin our whole life. I mean, I don't think there's a way we're winning this game unless we kill the Stone Brain, though. So let's do this. I guess we don't have to Beseiju. Now, we do have to Beseiju immediately, sadly. I guess we're just picking this up then. Okay, so let's go get our Beseiju, get rid of the Stone Brain, hope they don't have another one, and see where we go from there, huh? This is also giving them the land they need if they have another forest to search for in order to play and activate Stone Brain this upcoming turn, so... Wait. We want to be able to play this map out, and now we'll swing it back to them. So no matter what they're coding here, I guess if they just wait on coding until we actually play a land, then there's nothing that lets us get to Titan this upcoming turn if we draw a Titan. But if they coding and destroy land immediately, oh, they didn't have the land to search for. So if they coding and destroy land immediately, then we can just untap, draw Titan, and then kill them. Well, maybe not kill them, because we have Vesuva in hand, but be doing really well. So it would be wrong for them to actually hit a land right here. Again, only thanks to Castle Garenbrig. Yep, so now if we top deck a Titan, we just win, probably. All right, Titan. That one doesn't work, because of the Chalice. Okay, well, I think we lose here now, sadly. Oh well, moving on. So, we don't really have anything for this matchup either. We have all of our Besages in the main, so the One Ring's not great against them. We're going to trim some One Rings and bring in some real lands, because I think it'll be better to have cards that don't get completely shut off by their Karns. Don't think we really want to be bringing in Endurance, though. Disk is probably not good enough. I think we're just running like this. Alright, we'll be on the play. Very similar hand to last game. I think we can mulligan. We go Saga, Forest, turn 3, Ring. Probably not good enough. We can do better on 6. Well, at least this way we actually get to make constructs and pressure a Karn. I mean, I guess we keep this. Bottom... I guess we can bottom a bounce land here and try to make actual land drop progress for Dryad Valakut purposes. And we'll Grazer in our Saga immediately. Magic being a little laggy here. I don't really understand why. Opponent has Beseiju, and we draw an Amulet. That's a decent draw. We need to draw a Titan to go along with it. There's no reason to play Amulet now, though, because we can just play it next turn. Unless they play Chalice on one, which objectively would not be a good play, but we could play Amulet bounce land and still be able to make a token here. And then next turn we have Titan. I guess we don't have Titan if they have any interactive spell for either Amulet or Saga, but I don't think that's super likely. Is it worth it just to make one token here, or could we just go Garen? I think it's just Garandrig Pass, so we can make 2 tokens if we need to. Like, they'd have to have land, second Beseiju, or like, they would have to be sideboarding like Karasunder or Nature's Claim or something, and then not doing anything to further their own game plan. I just don't feel like that's super likely. Of course, I immediately eat my words. I mean, this way we can still, not do anything this upcoming turn, so that's cool. We will search. I mean, I guess we're okay with this. Grazer. Okay, well, here's a castle. And again, I think we just hold the Amulet to play around another Beseiju effect. Really bad against Chalice on one specifically, and we have another 1-drop that gets Chaliced. We could just Grazer and Bounce Land here. It's actually not the worst. Grazing and Bounce Land seems like the best possible play. And I guess we do play Amulet just to play around Chalice, but we don't really need Amulet anymore. Good old swings for 2. All right, we're back in Titan waiting room. Anytime Primeval Titan would like to show his ugly face. And I say that in the most endearing way possible. What have you got to do, opponent? Urza's Tower. No Titan. Well, we'll play this and pass our opponent. We want to trade our construct for theirs. I don't really think so. I still don't really know what it is our opponent's actually doing here. I mean, obviously they're doing Tron, but they have Besejus and Saga and Chalices. Is this like a mono-green E-Tron list or something? I assume they get map here. Ooh, Haywire Might. Okay. I mean, it still doesn't do anything if we top deck Titan, so let's see. What do they reveal here? Chalice, Stonebrain, Karn, Gemstone Caverns. I mean, I guess they're just on Prisontron. They took the Gemstone Caverns. It's just mono-green Prisontron. They do go ahead and Might. I'm assuming the Saga. Yep. I mean, now our construct is outclassing their construct by 1 power and toughness point. They took the Gemstone and just played a Saga anyways. Strange, okay? Because they could have chosen nothing and just gotten a random draw, but, well, we'll swing with our construct buddy here, and I guess we'll play out our hand here. There's really no reason not to. All right, let's see if they have the natural Stonebrain here. It always sucks when, for a couple turns straight, all you need is a Titan off the top, and it just does not show up. It's never a good day when that happens. We still know that they have a Gemstone in hand. All right, Titan off the top. 1 time, please. Primeval Titan. If we draw Titan, we just win. I don't know about you, but I like just winning. I wonder if they have a Chalice that can -4 here, so they can just play Chalice on 0 and cut off Summoner's Pact. Coding. Okay, interesting choice. All right, let us top deck Primeval Titan, please. Ah, come on. Okay. Well, we're sending everything at Karn. That is a 0-brainer. Man, trade the old construct skis. Let's hold this Amulet in hand. If they Liquid Metal Coating and destroy our Growth Chamber, then that might play into us just having land Titan. Keeping the card in hand makes them not know what to play around. Although, obviously, they're going to play around us having Primeval Titan, probably. Ooh, it's all the mites in the world. Yeah, looking like we're probably not going to be able to pull this one through, unfortunately. It's been the weirdest match. Ugin, huh? Get rid of Dryad. Free coding, thanks to the Ugin, of course. Dang, dude. Okay, I guess we just lose. See, would we have drawn the Titan? The Suba. I mean, I guess we play our land and keep playing because we could... No, we have to top deck Titan and bounce land. There's just no way. Very demoralizing loss, but... You know, it does happen. We'll jump in here for the next one. Well, we need to play against a matchup where Disk is actually good. It will look very bad if we play Nevinyrral's Disk and then just never cast it because we never board it in. But I promise you, there are matchups where this card does things. It does have text, I promise. All right, we are in here on the draw. Sad times. Playing against Accio. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. Maybe it's Accio. This is turn 4 kind of hand. We have Cavern, naturally, which is good against a counterspell matchup. Not a fantastic hand, though. I think this is a pretty easy mulligan, mostly just because our hands can look way better than this, so this hand does look way better than that, so we'll keep this one. Once again, we're in Titan waiting room, but it's alright. Probably leading on Cavern on Dryad, especially if our opponent shows us a blue land like that one. If they leave up Spell Pierce, we are not slamming Amulet, so DRC is better for us here than Ragavan, I think. Only marginally so. I think we still go Cavern on Dryad, swing it back to them. At least we're playing against a Disk matchup. Sage not looking like it's going to do a whole lot here, unless they just happen to have main board Blood Moon. Not the super most common, but I've seen stranger things than that. Last round, in fact. Preordain. Fantastic addition to Modern, I might say. I've been saying this card could be unbanned for years, and I think it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do in Modern, which is giving blue decks a little extra consistency, and I'm not opposed to consistency. It's also a sorcery, which does have downsides. It also has upsides, but it does have downsides. For example, our opponent's not holding up a counterspell here, but of course they're choosing to do that because we have Cavern on Dryad. They probably expect us to just go bounce land, slam Dryad, which I will gladly do. but we don't have it. So instead, we'll go cast Rig, I suppose. You know, cards in hand are overrated. I like having all lands in hand. That's where the real magic happens. Next turn, we'll probably play Sanctuary and pick up this Cavern so we can replay it on Giant. Opponent has Watery Grave, which is interesting. Means they're playing the Grixis Bowmaster's Shadow list, probably, which I think is worse for us than standard Murktide. Mainly because Death Shadow is a good card. Although, did they take the damage from the Shockland? I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe they did. No, I don't think they did. So maybe they're not playing Shadow? Maybe they're just playing Grixis? Summoner's Pact, huh? Well, I mean, that one's going to get insta-drown in the lock. Do we still just reset Cavern here? Guess we do. It doesn't stop us from playing Titan this upcoming turn. If our opponent taps out, we can then just Pact and then play Bounce Land and activate Castle Garenbrig. But we are just going to go ahead and do this. Another 2 more turns with DRC and our opponent being able to do whatever the heck they want. Does not sound like the easiest thing to do, but, you know, we'll give it a shot. At least we have good sideboard tools. More Shocklands tapped, though. Is our opponent playing Death Shadow? I guess not. Maybe they're next leveling me. Maybe they expect to win this game without even ever playing a Shadow, and so they don't care to represent it. No attack. Curious. Very interesting. Okay, well, let's play our Amulet here and see what they have to say about it. Presumably, we could just go Bounce Land Titan if they let this Amulet resolve, so they probably do have to counter this, and they do, which is totally fine. They also know we have Cavern, so not super worried about it. We could, when we play this Cavern, we could, Pact in response to their Polluted Delta fetch, so that we play around Drown in the Lock, which I don't think is the worst plan. It puts us a further turn behind, but not getting Drown in the Lock sounds kind of nice, to be honest. I'm going to put a stop on my own instep here real quick, and if they do fetch, we'll do the thingy. They don't. Chill, chill, chill. That's fine too, I guess. That is A-okay. More channelers. I guess if we top deck a Titan here, then we could not have to Pact. We could probably just play Titan. There's no point in casting Summoner's Pact when we draw a Titan because they can't Drown the Lock the Titan anyways, so. Well, I guess we'll just untap. It had to be the worst possible draw, huh? I mean, are we just slamming Summoner's Pact into their possible counter magic? I mean, I guess we are. It's not like it's getting a whole lot better for us by waiting. Would you like to counter our Summoner's Pact? No. Okay. Well, I didn't expect that, but I will take it. Hold on. No, we want to make our Titan uncounterable here, so yeah, not a whole lot of choice in this matter. I guess we reset Cavern. Well, I think there's a mainboard bog in this list, so we can bog them to slow down the channeler train. I don't know that really does anything when they have double channeler and cards in hand, though, because they get to refill their graveyard extremely quickly, especially considering they have a Delta already, so it's probably correct to just go TOS Growth Chamber and transmute immediately, or maybe double Growth Chamber. TOS Growth Chamber, transmute, pay 4. We have not enough mana. We'd have to draw a +1 ramp spell in order to get to Titan. We could just bog them and hope they don't have an answer to our Titan immediately. They probably have Unholy Heat here. I mean, we're going to make them have it, I guess, but I don't love it. We want to put a green source in play here as well, I think. Guess we'll just get a Forest. Kind of a waste, but could get Cavern. Sage doesn't do anything. Bounce Land just makes us pick up our Garenbrig, so probably not the play. We'll just get basic Forest. We'll just have to top deck another Titan if they have removal here. Maybe it would have been right to get Bog T-West, so we can play T-West and in 2 turns have another Titan coming. They didn't have the Unholy Heat. Maybe they have Terminate. I don't know. Terminate would probably be the worst case scenario for us. Yep. At least with Unholy Heat, we would have gotten to exile the 2 cards they're about to put in their graveyard to get towards Delirium, but alas, that is not the case. Guess we could also have gotten Vesuva, so we can pick up Bog and just have replay Bog here. They keep a card on top. Interesting. Iteration. Okay. I mean, I guess now we probably play Sanctuary and pick up Bog. Of course, like I said, with a double channeler, they immediately have Delirium again, so I guess we just need to immediately transmute T-West and assume they had literally nothing. I don't know. Ragavan. Gross. Guess we can just Boseiju a land at random here in case it does something. Probably hitting Steam Vents, so if they don't have another red source to search for, then they can only play a dash a Ragavan and not have a second red up, especially if we have a blocker. We'll do it on Incept though, so they can't just play a 2-drop or something, or 3-drop, I guess, with the Ragavan hit. Saga. Okay. Yeah, I guess we need to get Bounce Land for the Bog, thanks to this. Oh, and it had yielded 3 apparently. Well, Coolio. Dryad. Nothing. Cool. I guess we just lose then. Fun game. Fun game. Alright, so this is a matchup for... Well, I mean, they probably don't have Shadow, actually. We definitely want Endurances. Disk doesn't actually seem horrible here. It doesn't seem great either, though. Disk deals with, Orcish Bowmasters plus token plus, a 1-drop or something. I think bringing in a couple Discs is okay. Cavern seems good against their counterspells and drowns. Dismember is good against Ragavan and pretty much everything they have in their deck, so we definitely want Dismember. What do we not want? They probably have discards, so Pact isn't that bad. Azusa's bad against removal. The One Ring is about the best thing we can be doing. Castigaran Brig isn't great, since we need to be playing around counter magic, and it kind of has a tension there. They probably have Alpine Moon, so I guess we can trim a Saga and Math. I don't think I want to trim down more than that. I don't expect them to have Magus or anything like that. I guess we don't need all 4 dismembers. We could play like 3 or 2. I like 3. I think 3 is a good number. Trim 1 ring against Bowmasters. I mean, maybe that's just wrong though, to be honest. I feel like that's just wrong. We'd rather have ring than these discs. We probably want at least 1 disc anyways though. I just don't have enough cards to side out here. Oh, Beseiju doesn't do anything against them actually, now I think about it. Okay, and 2 more cards. Guess we can trim an Amulet. I don't really love that though. Maybe we don't need 4 endurances. We can just play like 3 or 2. I don't know. Endurance is really good against counter magic and DRC though. I guess we're just playing with no discs. Well, we have a Dismember for a Ragavan. We have Bajuka Bog to keep DRC in check. We can play land into Saga, and if we top deck an untapped source, we can start making Saga tokens. We can play Saga into Vesuva Copy Saga and just get absolutely demolished by Alpine Moon. I mean, we're definitely keeping this. The interesting thing is the sequencing. Maybe we just go like land Vesuva turn 2 into Saga on turn 3 or something. I think we're just leading on T-West here. I don't like playing into the Alpine Moon by going Saga, Vesuva Saga. Just don't think that's really necessary here. See what 1 drop they have. Ragavan. Well, we are prepared for that one. No untapped source is quite sad. I think we need to play around them having another Ragavan by going ahead and slamming our Saga here. And we'll dismember now. Not playing around second Ragavan. I'd rather play around Counterspell or Spell Pierce. I guess the worst case scenario is they just go like DRC into Alpine Moon. If they go Alpine Moon here, it's probably just a discard spell. Oh no. Oh goodness, oh no. I can't look. I can't look. Tell me it didn't happen. No! No! Why did I have to say anything, dude? Okay. Well, it's a good thing we didn't go for the line that gets absolutely punked by Alpine Moon. Come on, dude. Really? Okay, well, we'll play this Amulet, I suppose. We're gonna play Amulet. I guess we Vesuva Steam Vents here, so we can transmute this upcoming turn if we want to. We're holding up Dismember valiantly, as if we had it, which we don't. We can just bog them this upcoming turn if DRC gets a little out of hand. Preordain. Probably looking for land here. Actually, I don't presume to know what it is that our opponent's looking for. Obviously, Fatal Push is not it, though. Fatal Push, definitely not what they're looking for. It's going to be interesting whether we transmute here or just play Bog. Let's try 1 top, 1 bottom, and play Swamp. I have to presume that they left that on top, because there's no way Swamp is what they wanted, but they probably didn't need the land. I guess our best top deck is a 3-drop that we can play, so like Dryad. Honestly, I'd even pack for Dryad. If we top deck Pact, I will slam the pack for Dryad immediately. Actually, if we pack for Dryad, we can even transmute Tolaria West as well. So I guess Dryad or Pact is our best possible draw. Sanctuary is pretty close if you think about it. And by think about it, I mean like, you know, not too hard. I wonder what they exiled with Ragavan Forest. Okay. Well, I guess we just bog them. If we transmute now, the next turn we have 5. I guess we could get to Titan this upcoming turn if they have literally nothing if we transmute now. So I guess we're transmuting now. Play Simic, I guess. I guess we could also pack for Dryad and play it this upcoming turn if we transmute now, which is worth considering. Okay. So we're set up for next turn. If we even get there. Although, let's see, we can use Grazer. Sometimes you have to be worried about the number of green sources you have, but we'll have 5 mana, include 2 green, go down to 4 mana with 1 green, and then put a bounce in and play and give us our second green for Titan. So we can get there if our opponent has literally nothing, which is not super likely. Honestly, it might be better to just like bog them and just pass, and just take another hit from Ragavan. Again, all we want to top deck is a Dryad of Lycian Grove. That's all we need. Although at this point, I guess a Endurance is equally as good now, since we can just play Sanctuary and have our second green source. So did they misclick and accidentally not attack with Ragavan, or are they just disconnected or something? It doesn't say they disconnected, so I think they misclicked through their Ragavan attack, possibly. Well, while we're waiting for our opponent, how are you guys doing? Of course, immediately as I start to talk to you guys, immediately they just click the Ragavan too. I was only hoping that they wouldn't have actually been able to attack with a Ragavan. Just some small saving grace, but no. I have my strong doubts that just like packing for Grazer and just going for the Titan this upcoming turn is gonna possibly be the correct line, but we'll see. Opponent, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's alright, we're chilling. We're having a good time. By the way, I did post a poll on Twitter about a game that I purchased on Steam. It is a horror game. Pull this over here. I purchased the game Parasocial by Chilla's Art. I've never played a horror game in my whole life. I've only watched playthroughs from my favorite content creators playing horror games, and I was just curious if that's something that anybody would be interested in me streaming, so I was thinking very hard about hitting OK for their attack. It's okay, we're chilling. As I said, Simic has entered the exile zone. So far, Ragavan has not managed to hit anything relevant, so that's nice. Usually, Ragavan is immediately like, hit Slayer Stronghold, hit Titan, so you can't top deck it. At least this Ragavan's been pretty mild. Honestly, we're still just losing to them having all the mana they need every single turn, and a well-timed Alpine Moon, to be fair. They just pass back after that. Okay. Opponent, why is it taking this long? You don't need a minute to let the dash ability of Ragavan resolve. Are there any cards out of the new set that you guys are excited for? There's one card in particular that I'm very excited for that I think most people will not have even had this card on their radar. Wait. I gotta find it, though. I don't even know the name of the card. All I know is that I'm very excited for it. Found it. Beanstalk Worm. It's a 5 mana, 5/4 reach, which I love intermediary threats. And for 2 mana, you get half of Explore. You get the additional land. So you can either use it as a ramp spell, like a sort of like a pseudo rampant growth, or you can top deck it late and play it as a 5 mana, 5/4 with reach. I can't explain why, but I love designs like that so much. I'm always looking for ways to correct the issue of like your cards being dead if you don't just draw a Titan, just having extra threats. I'm a big fan of Generous Int, but I do think it's a little too slow. And this card is similar to that, but you know, all right, now that we've drawn Amulet, which is quite possibly the best top deck here, I mean, we're just going to slam Titan, and if it doesn't work, we're going to do it again next turn. And then the other card, in the same vein as the one I was just talking to you guys about, is Stormkeld Vanguard, a 6 mana, 6/7 that can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less, but it has the adventure of destroying an artifact or enchantment, which I think is extremely, extremely interesting. All right, we'll see if our opponent has anything to say about one Primeval Titan put nicely onto the stack. And we get to pick up the Vesuva here to make some mana progress, so that's pretty chill. Next turn we can Bog and then play, like, Pack for Titan and play it. Alright, opponent, fire off the counterspell, Subtlety. Okay, they're just gonna exile this with a Ragavan. Let's see, they dash Ragavan, play land, they have 4/5, they're 1 short. So I guess, do we want them to exile this Titan? Do we want to make them have to dash Ragavan? I mean, they're gonna do that anyways, right? I guess we top it. See, they dash, play land, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the Ragavan treasure is 1 short, so we're still Gucci. We're also dead to bolt here, or like anything that does any damage. Okay. Cool. Why not? Opponent just wastes 10 minutes of my time and then just kills me. It's alright, we'll live. The funny thing is, I don't even care about losing. Like, that doesn't bother me. I even said that we're gonna lose to Bolt, and like, I don't have any feelings about that, but it's just annoying to have our opponent play like the slowest glacier in the entire freaking North Pole, and then still win after all that. I can't explain why, but that's vaguely frustrating to me. We're playing against General Butt Naked. Alright, well, we get to go turn 1 Grazer, maybe even pack for a Dryad on turn 2. I mean, we keep these for sure. See what General Butt Naked has to bring to the table. On the draw again, by the way. Oh man, guys, this video is gonna get demonetized. You know it's gotta happen. Well, I guess now we can Grazer in, like, Grazer and Vesuva, copying Forest, and then play Cavern and get the Dryad going, but honestly, I think I'm still into just Grazering and Bounce Land here, especially since we have Vesuva to cover if we top deck a Amulet, so this gives us more untapped sources if we need to do the old Dryad trick of just going untap land, and slamming a Titan. So like we could go Cavern Naming Dryad, play Dryad, Vesuva copy Bounce Land, and then have 2 untapped sources to just slam Titan the upcoming turn if we were to naturally top deck a Dryad, which of course I'm going to naturally top deck a Dryad. Like, what do you take me for? What's weird about last match is like they weren't playing slow the whole time. They were playing at a reasonable pace, and then all of a sudden every action was taking, and not even a minute, it was like 2 minutes per action. Of course, for those of you who are watching the playback of this on YouTube, I edit out all the silence and stuff, so it's gonna seem a lot more streamlined than that, but it was interesting, to say the least. It was interesting. Ledger Shredder making a comeback in Modern. I wonder if our opponent held onto this bauble just to make absolutely for certain they could trigger Shredder here. I think it is going to be correct, by the way, to just slam a Dryad. So if they have Blood Moon, then I'll file a lawsuit straight to their person, triggering their Ledger Shredder again. I guess we will Vesuva Forest to play around the Blood Moon that we're not playing around this turn, in future turns. Discarded a Ragavan. I guess that means that Ragavan was never connecting. Arboreal Grazer doing God's work. You know what I just realized? Maybe some of the internet problems that I'm experiencing are from my end, because I don't have my Ethernet cable plugged in. I have it plugged into my laptop at the moment. I could go fix that real quick. I'll do it in between rounds, I guess. I mean, it is our opponent's clock that's ticking down, though, so maybe not. But Preordain, secretly and sneakily doing everything. We will not block. Currently, I'm more worried about them slamming a Murktide and us having to block a big Murktide and gaining more life that way. We just have all the caverns in the world against them. Cool. I mean, we'll play it, I suppose. Pass back. Do we swing in? They could then like bolt and then dash a Ragavan, or like heat. They have artifact, creature, sorcery, land, instant. So they definitely have Unholy Heat active here. I guess we play around bolt. I don't think the 2 extra points even matter. So see if we can pull out game 1 here because of having Cavernous Holes in the main deck. 3 copies, mind you. 3. Just naturally playing the Otawara. I feel like that happens all the time. I just like our opponent just draws, not the specific opponent, but like an opponent playing Murktide just draws and plays an Otawara and never uses it. We're still not going to block this. Continuing to play around Ragavan or them having a Murktide region. Probably getting Valakut Bog here. So if they have a heat, they have to heat the Dryad. And if they don't have a heat, then we get Valakut triggers to kill the Shredder. And we played around Ragavan too. That is just one more for the Valakut to mow down. Hey, we played around this exactly. We played around Bolt plus Ragavan exactly. See, sometimes playing around ghosts is actually not playing around ghosts, but playing around actual real situations. That's a pretty good draw. Not gonna lie, that is a pretty good one. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and play this and start slinging some Valakut triggers at places. If they have the removal, they maybe are inclined to use it there, but I guess not. I would like to put one giant 6/6 Trampler into play. How do you feel about that, opponent? Cannot be countered. You can't do it. All right, and here we're definitely setting up Bog plus, I guess, Vesuva. That would be another 2 triggers, putting them to 12, and then, like, we pick up Vesuva. Oh, wait, we already have Vesuva in play. So I guess Bounce Land? Garrison? Sure. Bog Garrison. I'm into it. Hold on. So we can just send all the triggers at them. They go to 12, then pick up, play as a copy of Valakut. Oh, they don't have red mana up. They're just dead. What am I saying? Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Overthinking it there for a second. Okay, so against our opponent, we want Endurances, we want all of the Dismembers, we want the 4th Cavern, the Forest, the Nev Disks. Honestly, there's an argument to be made for Explosives as well. I kind of think we could just bring in all 15 and just do a complete transformation here by trimming all of our Amulets and Maps and Sagas, playing around Blood Moon and the fact that Amulet is not necessarily a fantastic play. We have tons of turn 1 plays in Dismember. I actually don't hate Amulet in this matchup, I just don't like Saga. We could... I still want the 4th Dismember, though. We can trim 2 Pacts here. We can trim Castles, because we're leaning on Cavernous Holes. What else can we do? Wait. Sort by mana value here. Playing only a couple Amulets, maybe we don't need Azusa as much, but Azusa, like, blocking Ragavan and letting us accelerate out a bunch of lands is kind of nice. We could trim 1 Disc. We could trim 1 TOS, I think, since we're going so low on Summoner's Packs anyways. Explosives maybe is not the best here, since we have Disc instead. We trim 1 Dismember so we're not losing too much life, and 1 Explosive. Send it this way. Have just a sprinkling of Amulets in order to give us additional turn 1 plays if we don't have turn 1 Grazer. That's about it. This hand's a keep. This one is a keep. And probably leading on Boseiju, so we can Cavern down Dryad. Yes. Good old Ragavan. We still need to top deck some lands, but hopefully we can manage to do that. 1 Valakut into play, thank you. The one thing that's nice in this matchup about sideboarding out a bunch of Sagas and Summoner's Pacts and, Amulets and stuff is, like, every card in your hand does something, right? Our Dryad enables Valakut, it gives us extra land drops, it blocks Ragavan, right? If we had just, like, dead Summoner's Pacts just sitting in hand waiting to combo off, we would never get there. It would just not happen. But this way, all of our cards are relevant. We have, like, multiple things they have to counter. We have some card draw here. I guess the one thing we're, like, super scared of here is Blood Moon, but even then... if we manage to find a bounce land and they don't just slam Blood Moon this upcoming turn, we can start insulating ourselves against Blood Moon with Boseiju. Plus the ring will draw us cards and hopefully find one of our 5 basics post-sideboard. Land is great. Valakut is actually not a bad one either. Yeah, we're just gonna play in 0 fear of Blood Moon here and just, I mean, it's not like we can play around Blood Moon anyways, but we're still just gonna tromp on, doing what it do. Even if our opponent does Blood Moon us, we could still top deck Nev Disk. That's the card. Did we bring in all 3 or just the 2? I think we just brought in 2. Yep, sad. We would have wanted the 3rd in this situation. At least we get to slam ring here. Block. Yeah, this has reach, so we'll block that one. Yeah, I guess we want to play that one instead of the ring, huh? Hopefully they don't have Cast into the Fire. Whew, that is a Nev Disk, baby. Now let's just top deck land, so next turn we can slam ring into activate Disc for 1 mana. Disc does not kill our own 1-rings, by the way. I guess we maybe could have attacked there. Free 2 points of damage, since we have... oh wait, we don't have protection here. What am I saying? I keep thinking of Disc as being the other 4-mana artifact that we play, but alas, that is not the case. Our opponent's digging for their Cast into the Fire right now. Preordain. That's what I like to talk about. Right here, right there. We finally got to put a Disc into play, and guess what? It looks amazing. Destroy all artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. And we're not in any rush. We could just slam the ring here. Any land lets us hold up Disc. Dude, 1 mana activation is just so good. Yeah, we'll block that one. I am okay blocking that one. Land. No land, huh? It's a little risky to slam ring here and just hope to top deck a land, but it's also unlikely that they have an answer to the disc, so I think I'm just slamming the ring. Land. Whatever. Oh, this time I actually did miss the 2 damage, because this time we are playing the 4-mana artifact that stops us from taking damage, so it's alright, it's alright. I have Unholy Heat. Oh no, not my Dryad! Oh no! What will we do without a board? My precious board presence. I wanted to keep that in play. Oh man. Oh boy. Oh me, oh my. This feels pretty powerful, you know? It's a little bit powerful. All right, let's do one of these. They could have another moon effect that they're planning on playing here. I think I'm going to go ahead and slam Dryad and try to Vesuva copy Forest. See if they have the subtlety here. If this goes through, then we don't care about Blood Moon anymore. Cool. So we don't care about Blood Moon. Oh, and we get some free Valka triggers, because why not? Holding up Dismember. I guess we want to hold up Dismember in case they have like end of turn Unholy Heat, untap Dash Ragavan or something stupid like that. I don't know why in the world they Unholy Heated Dryad when we just had an active disc in play. And we got to keep our One Ring in play too. Indestructible, baby. Our opponent might just be dead here. DRC. Honestly, at this point, we probably just hold the Dismember for Magus of the Moon. Also, we can just pay the black mana with Dryad ability, so... Or you know, just, like, kill them. I feel like killing them is probably pretty good. Yeah, I don't mind doing lethal damage to our opponent's face. Wow. We won that match thanks to Nev Disk, for sure. And, let's jump in here for the last one. Just casually 2-0ing Blue-Red Murktide. Not a problem whatsoever. Never worried about it. They had the turn 3 Blood Moon. Not a problem. Not a problem whatsoever. Man, my only mistake was not bringing in the 3rd disc. Punted. On the draw again. Unlucky. Not really. Ooh, this is a weird hand. I mean, we can get Map off of one of these sagas and get our green bounce land. So, I mean, I guess we're supposed to keep this. And if we just top that green bounce land, then we're in business. Sunhome, not really the look here. This is the one that I am most interested in. I really, really like this card. Oh yeah, you just mentioned it in chat. You beat me to it. Our opponent has turn 1 Fury Scam. Now, if this were game 2 and we had Dismembers in our deck, yeah, I really like the new Explore hybrid creature. I'm a huge fan of that one. There's another one that's similar. It's a Naturalize effect that is a 6 mana, like, big beefy creature. I mean, we're doing what we can here. Just play out our hand, especially before it gets Grief for Thought Seized. One Ring is a great pickup here, by the way. Fantastic pickup. Means we can turn 3 play the One Ring and bridge into a turn 4 Titan if we do so need it to do that. Down to 12. I guess Green Source is our best top deck here. Hey, Green Bounce Land is an even better Green Source to top deck. So now we can Grazer in a land and activate Saga. Absolutely is going to be the play that I would like to make. Not yielding to Amulets here, because we're very soon to have double Amulet in play. And again, I don't think I'm interested in playing around Blood Moon here, so we'll just put Saga into play. Now we have multiple blockers for the Fury that's ruining our life. Assuming they don't have another Fury Scam. Imagine if they just did second Fury Scam here, plus Thought Seize. They Thought Seize and second Fury Scam. That would be quite tragic. Bolt, okay. Well, now it's very unlikely they just go land Blood Moon, especially since they're not fetching for basic swamp here. I would like to block. I would block, please. Tap land. Love to see it. Love to see it. They could have Terminate here. I will block. Who would win? One Arboreal Grazer or one Scammed Fury on turn 1? Anybody's game. All right, well, we can't actually kill them because we've drawn the Sunhome, very sadly, but we can get a Titan into play and then a Ring into play. Feeling pretty good about this. Hit 5 to make sure we're not just going to yield our Amulets like a dumb person. And I think we just pick up the Saga here, to be honest. Now, we could risk it all by attacking into Terminate, or we could, like, not do that. I feel like not doing that is probably a pretty good idea. So I'm going to go Simic Growth Chamber, T-West, and then play Ring here, just to be maximally safe. Pick up the T-West here. Oh, it should have picked up Bounce Land. What am I doing? Oh well, and we'll draw here, pass back. Definitely should have picked up Bounce Land. We'd have 3... We would still be short anyways of Titan, but looks like they didn't have the Terminate either, so maybe we're playing around Phantoms, but no attacks with the Fury. Interesting. Okay, we drew the Bounce Land, so never had anything to worry about. No +1 ramp spell, though. Well, we can play Bounce Land, or play any land, Transmute, and pack for Dryad, or we could just attack and then transmute and get another Titan into play. I have 2 cards. They have fetch lands, so they could have Revolted Fatal Push here. They could just have a bunch of Undying cards in hand as well. If we play Sunhome and double strike our Titan, then we'll have 5 post-combat. I don't know that we'll have enough blue, though, unless we pick up Growth Chamber. Interesting. Okay, I think this is what I'm going for. We'll say yes on this one. Yeah, I don't play Colossus in the list. I'm not a huge Colossus fan. I think in most matchups it, like, doesn't really do much. So we want Garrison. I guess any single land works here. We could get, like, Garrison Garrison, Beseiju, like 3, 4, 5, activate Sunhome, untap, pick up Growth Chamber. We'll have Bounce Land, Beseiju, Sunhome. Oh, wait, hold on. Bounce Land, Beseiju, Bounce Land. Untapped 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can transmute, play a Titan, and then get double forest. Yeah, I don't hate that. And then if they have the scam card, then they get a Fury back, but then we just get to slam Titan. So, and worst case scenario, just trade. Oh, they don't block. Fascinating. Oh, do we not have a land play? Oh, I played the Sunhome. Oops. So I guess we're at 1. I forgot that we already play land for turn. My bad. Right, well, we're dead to Bolt now. I totally forgot that I had the Sunhome in hand, had to play it. I thought we were going to be able to play Bounce Land, pack for Titan, play Titan, get double Forest after all of that. Interesting. They Takenuma back a nothing. Okay, so it looks like we're still fine here, unless they have exactly Bolt. Down to 1 we go. Down to 1. Almost lost myself there. Cool. I like to live life on the edge. What can I say? So this is the quintessential Nev Disk matchup. Forest is great here. Dismembers is great here. Endurance is okay. Endurance is actually not great now I think about it. Don't like explosives. In this matchup, we can most definitely trim Sagas and this Expedition map alongside that. Zeus is good against them. Pact is good against discard. I guess we could trim a couple Amulets because we're probably playing through Blood Moons and we have Dismembers as 1 drop of choice. I think Amulet is good against them though. Maybe we trim 1 Amulet so we don't draw too many multiples. Bog vaguely matters, but not really. Like if they have Croxa, Bog matters, but I'm not going to play around it. I guess they could also have like Seasoned Pyromancer, but honestly I don't care about their 5 mana, 2 tokens. Get out of here with that. We don't care about that. I guess we just trim extra land as well. It's not like Cavern's particularly good against them. We have Nev Disk, the hand. Yeah, if any of these cards was a bounce land, this hand would be a snap keep, but none of these cards is a bounce land, so we're gonna mulligan. And I guess we're gonna keep this and just bottom a bounce land. Probably the one of Gruul Turf in case we need to search for it. Just play turn 1 Scam Fury, please. Turn 1 Scam Fury, let's go. Let's do it again. Dang it. That's not the one you were supposed to play, opponent. That is not the play. Cool. We'll just play this non-game of we don't have any cards in hand. We have to take Dismember and the One Ring. We could still top deck Dismember and then be very much in this game. Of course, if our opponent just goes, you know, turn 2 Dalfy, turn 3 Blood Moon, then we just can't win. So there's always that. Dismember or Amulet is our best top deck here. I don't know which of those is better. Probably Dismember, but it's close. That's maybe the worst top deck, but that's okay. Just pass it back to them. We'll just sit here and take our damage from the grief. The little grief that could. Anything good. I'll take that. And I guess we'll play Sanctuary here. I mean, we're still slowly getting there. Imagine the universe where they just turn 1 Fury Scammed. Ugh, we'd be doing so good right now. They did fetch for basic here, so they might just slam Blood Moon. No land, huh? Ooh, that's a great top deck. All right, I mean, we'll play it out. So Titan incoming this upcoming turn if our opponent does not just slam a Blood Moon on us. Oh wait, Dryad and then the Stronghold. Cool. All right, just continue to miss on lands, please. Just don't have anything relevant. You have nothing, opponents. You never had it. No, they have the land. We're so getting Blood Moon. Sometimes you can just feel the Blood Moon, and I absolutely feel the Blood Moon here. Although they're pausing here. If they had the Blood Moon, surely they would just fetch basic Swamp and slam it, right? Curious pause. I mean, it could be the classic tank, slam Blood Moon. I kind of doubt it here, though. Fury Scam. Okay, well, we can still pack for Grazer and get Titan going here. Are they scamming Fury as well? No scam. Exiling the Fable. Interesting. I mean, I'm definitely slamming Titan Forest. Not a bad one, but we don't care about that right now. Our opponent seems to be F6. Pick up the land, please. Could have gone for Azusa, but that plays into Bolt, so not really wanting to do that. Now the question is, are we playing around Blood Moon? So are we playing around Terminate into Blood Moon by not hasting Titan and just getting double Forest here? Or are we playing into Terminate? They have 2 cards. They very well easily could have a Terminate. They would have to have double Bolt to kill us. I mean, if we don't haste and attack here, like we just have to top deck another threat or something to block with. If we haste and it gets terminated and then we lose the Blood Moon, we're probably going to lose anyways. I think I'm not playing around it. Let's just trust their F6 as a real F6 and not them playing us. So far, so good. Okay, we got to attack. Well, they don't have Terminate. They could have... I don't know what they could have here. I guess I'm just playing around Blood Moon at this point because I think that seems like the most logical thing to do. Given the chance, I will double block this grief. Somehow all that just went through. They get basic Swamp. See if they top deck the Blood Moon so we get rewarded for our double Forest play. No way! They're playing the One Ring? Oh my gosh! That is so sick! Holy! That's insane! Okay, we'll block you. Okay. I think just attacking with Titan here with Vigilance and leaving it up as a blocker is better than having Civic Growth Chamber in our second main phase. Okay. Well, now we could just attack, get like T-West something else, T-West Greenland, and then play Bounce Land and slam Titan second main. Yeah, I think I'm about that. It's almost the same as giving him Vigilance, right? Plus 2 lands though. All right, so we want T-West and any Greenland. Probably just getting Boseiju now is the best idea. We can even play Bounce Land and pick up the Boseiju. 0 damage thanks to the ring protection. That is A-okay though. So 1, 2, 3. I guess we want to pick up maybe T-West here. No, actually, we want to pick up the Boseiju now. So we want to actively play over our required mana amount to play this Titan anyways. Let's see. And now we can get Bounce Land and any other thing. Definitely Simic Growth Chamber for sure. And I guess a Valcut, perhaps? Or Sunhome actually is nice here. We'll get Sunhome. Now, do we even transmute here? We have 2 Titans they have to deal with, so there's no way they can deal with both and discard spell us. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and transmute, but you know. All right, back to you, opponent. It is possible for them to have like Terminate plus Double Bolt thanks to the ring draws here. It's technically possible. They'd have to have Terminate, Land, Double Bolt out of their 5 cards. Just casually beating turn 1 Grief Scam, not a problem. All right, opponent, what you got for me? I guess technically we could have like set up Summoner's Pact for Grazer here to play around Terminate, Double Bolt, but then we just lose to Double Terminate. So, well, they have the red land. Douthie, perhaps. Okay, interesting. So they could still have Terminate. Terminate, Fatal Push are like the things to be thinking about here. They Terminate 1, we double strike this, they double... Oh no. Okay, I mean, if we just Vesuva a Bounce Land, let's see, how much mana do we have? There's no point in trying to go for a disc plan here, even if we could just haste and attack, because like that doesn't really do anything. I guess we just go to combat. Maybe we pact for Dryad here. I feel like just going to combat's a good idea though, because let's see, we attack for 12, they block 5 of it and still take lethal, even if they kill 1 Titan. I'm pretty okay with this. So let's just go to combat. Definitely swing both here, and here we get Talari West and Valcut, I guess. Nev Disk here just to help us get to that end stage, you know, and then we'll get Valcut and Basic Forest, certainly. We would see if they would like to block, and then whichever one they block, that is the one that we want to double strike, because then if, actually no, we want to double strike the other Titan so that we're guaranteedly trading with their things. I mean, here we don't have to double strike at all though, right? We have 12 coming through, minus 3 is 9 total, so they're still dead here if they do nothing, so they have to be the first to act since they didn't block with the Douthie. Okay, I guess they're just dead. Cool. All right, well, we did end up 3-2 with this list, and we didn't really get to see a whole lot of Disk. We did win the matchup against Murktide because of Disk, and that's definitely one of the reasons why you have it. Disk is also very good against Scam, so it's definitely something worth testing, I think. I think Disk is a little more playable just by a little bit than OStone, and like the downside of it not hitting the Planeswalkers against 4-color is not nearly enough of a downside for me to want to play OStone over Disk. So definitely something that I'm excited to test. I don't know. I just think this list is pretty interesting, pretty solid. Let me know if you guys have any comments or questions about the list down below or here in the chat if you're with me live. And for those of you who are with me live or have watched until the end of this video, then thank you very much for joining me in this league, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, we managed to curve back into that 3-2 after starting off by, I think, 1-2. So against bad matchups too, against Murktide and Scam, and we just 2-0'd both of them. So look, all I can say is I have built this deck to beat Murktide and Scam. You see what I'm saying? I do not plan on losing to those decks. So of course it can still happen. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me along this journey, and I'll see you guys for the next one. This is Red Face Menace, signing off.